Chase Hudson, who just broke up with Charli D'Amelio only in April, is denying that he cheated on Charli in a since deleted tweet, saying that he and Charli were broken up when he shared a kiss with Nessa Barrett. So this got, of course, Charli's attention. And Charli responded, then you shouldn't have come to my house after without telling me. Shots fired. And then in another since deleted tweet captured by fans, Chase accused fellow TikTokers of cheating. His reason for doing that, he says, well, since all my drama has to be put out on the internet, I'm going to drag your guys into it too. Charli, of course, responded, but I wanted to point out that in the tweet that he accused fellow TikTokers of cheating in, he ended the post saying, the only person who has a right to be upset with me is Charli, and I'm sorry I hurt her. He added that he's not sorry to Nessa's ex-boyfriend Josh Richards and claims Josh lied to Charli, saying that Chase had an STD 6 months ago, trying to basically drive them apart. And that's only the half of it.
Oh my goodness. I mean, this is like a reality show showdown just happening in front of us on Twitter. This was literally like watching a reality show showdown on Twitter. When I tell you,
Right.
just watching Chase out these people or reading the tweet, my mouth was literally on the ground. I want to talk about Charli's response though, because
Yeah.
it was classy. And she also, look, she said all the right things. She said, quote, stop deflecting your actions onto others because you can't take responsibility, Chase. Want me to talk about how you treated me throughout our relationship, or do you want to just keep playing the victim? Now, this tweet got about 280,000 likes, but what I love about it is that Charli took this time, this opportunity where so many eyes were on her Twitter to actually tweet out the issues going on in the world site where people can sign petitions and donate to a variety of important causes like the Black Lives Matter movement,
Mhm.
trans rights, and worker rights. So she really took this moment and made it her own.
And I think it also was from pressure from other people because, there's so much other important things that are going on in the world right now. And
Right.
even I found myself almost embarrassed that I was so like I fell down the rabbit hole of this drama and I wanted to follow and like what people's reactions were because again, it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things that's going on in the world, right? So I'm glad that she did kind of also link like, by the way, here's some matters and some organizations that do need your attention.
Right.
That being said, I mean, all eyes were on Charlie's Twitter and also Chase's. And, it wasn't just Charlie who responded to him. It was everyone who he called out in the post, Bryce Hall,
Mhm.
Keough, Griffin, Josh, Anthony, and Jaden. And so I think it begs the question, like, are they banding together? And what do you think this means for Chase's future in the Hype House and really in this like TikTok community?
Look, I think this was bound to happen. When you think about the
Really?
hype house, when it first started, yeah, when it first started, it was what, around 20 people that would hang out there. Not everyone stayed there, but those are a lot of kids, a lot of young people spending their time 24/7 together. And one of our producers made a really good point earlier this morning. She said that when you have these young people mixing their professional life with their personal life,
Mm,
over this amount of time, of course, there's some drama that's going to go down. Even if you aren't young, even adults, this many people all the time, it's just bound to happen. Now, I just think that the Hype House should actually just go back to its roots.
okay.
I remember when Charli left, her rep actually told ET that the Hype House started as a place for TikTok creators to socialize and create content.
Right.
Charli and Dixie created content with their friends at the house when they were visiting LA from Connecticut. When the Hype House started to become more of a business, Charli and Dixie stepped away from that aspect. And I just remember there was a video of Dixie circulating, basically saying that the creator or the founder of the Hype House, Thomas, basically told her if she doesn't post content this week, she can't eat. So I think that it just became more about money and
Mm.
influence and posts other than more than the fun about being together and creating these fun TikToks with your friends.
And that's the was the initial goal, like you mentioned. It's a creative collective for all of these content creators. I won't even call them influencers. It's people creating content online and
Right.
digital spaces and collaborating. But it's like when you get a bunch of people in a house, like with the Real World or Big Brother, drama is going to ensue.
Yes.
But on top of that, you have some really young people. I'm gonna sound like a grandpa, but I was like, y'all are too young for this. Like, this is just, of course, breakups and heartbreaks are going to happen, and friend groups are going to, maybe pick a side, and lines are going to be drawn in the sand. But for it to play out like this publicly, for Chase to claim that other people in his group are cheating on their respective girlfriends, and even going as far as to saying someone lied and said that he had an STD, where are your parents?
Well, no, seriously, I'm wondering that too. But it's interesting you say that, because in my mind, I'm like, of course, this is inevitable. I mean, I remember being in high school and middle school, things like this went down. But of course, the difference is that we weren't influencers, we weren't content creators, on TikTok, to where all these eyes were on us. So I think, honestly, Chase may need to be careful in some instances when it comes to this, because this could affect the future of his career.
I think so, because I think we're even starting to see the chatter online. People, there's a reason why Charli is the most followed person on TikTok. She has a legion of fans and loyal followers, and a lot of celebrities. I even saw Sky Jackson tweeting like, follow Charli D'Amelio for clear skin. Like, people are throwing their support at her, for speaking out and calling out her ex. And so I have to say, it's a bad look on Chase. Now, as far as like, what this means for the future of Hype House, as we know, Charli and her sister Dixie D'Amelio, they decided to leave the Hype House. And we actually talked to, Bryce Hall recently, ET did, and he talked about the culture of Hype House. And he himself admitted, as you guys will see right now in this clip, that he's like, it's not the mafia. If you leave, you can leave. Take a look.
Right.
I mean, it's inevitable for groups like of that size to split. I mean, as of right now, they're doing great. Super proud of them. There is no contracts binding them together. There's no real, there's no formula. There's nothing like binding them or bonding them together contractually. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what the future is.